I'm David Pattison. I'm 81 years old, and I am proud to say that I was fortunate enough to grow up in the Venice, Nokomis area. And I think we're here today mainly to talk about the history of Venice as I know it. Not so much the history, but how it was back in 48, 49, early 50s. On Venice Avenue, the grass used to grow up between the cracks, and you had to mow it with a lawnmower. There wasn't enough traffic. In the summertime, people would leave and go north, and they'd board up all the store buildings because they're afraid of hurricanes. The city of Venice didn't even turn on the street lights. No, they had to wait for the snowbirds to come down and fill up the town. But we're talking about when Venice was less than 1,000 people. We had a lot of fun at school. Grade school was in Laurel on 41, and the middle school and high school was on Ipano Trail in Nokomis. We had a lot of good school teachers. Our schools were not air conditioned. It was funny, if you wanted to get out of class, all you did was dive out the window and you was gone, you disappeared. We had a very good basketball team. We'd go to the state every year. We'd travel the area, and they all liked to come to Venice. Most of the time we held the tournaments in Venice because we're the only ones with the inside gym. Where the Venice Little Theater is today was the KMI gym, and we were the only team in the conference basketball that had an indoor basketball court. All the other schools would play outside, and if it rained, we didn't have a basketball game. I remember we went to LaBelle and played, and everybody kept hollering, don't lose the ball, get off the court because an alligator will get it. We started Venice Vagabonds at the Venice High School. On Fridays, if you was interested in cars, which back then most everybody was, we wore Levi's that were rolled up at the bottom and white T-shirts and engineer boots. And I was dating a girl by the name of Carolyn Rice, and she came out of the school one day and was all out around the flagpole at the schoolhouse in Nokomis. And she said, y'all look like a bunch of vagabonds. And that's where we got the name. The purpose of the Venice Vagabonds was to help other people. When I say help other people, we had little cards printed up, and when it helped somebody, the card read, you have just been helped by a Venice Vagabond. If you run out of gas, you needed a flat tire fixed, you need your car get started, if you need to go to the polls to vote, if you had a doctor's appointment, they knew they could call a vagabond and they'd take them. If you need a lady, need to go to the grocery store, whatever we could do to help the people in the area. Because it was a small community and everyone knew everyone. So we participated that way. But we used to get together and help each other build cars. And we did a lot of street racing, drag racing, down on Center Road and on the Venice Airport. We used to go out at where Sharky's is now, and we had they called it Red Lake, with a golf course and all this. And we'd go out there and tear down cars, and we'd race out there in jalopies, hitting one another and banging around. We built stock cars, and we had a racetrack on the Manatee-Sarasota County line off of 41. They called it Saramana Speedway. And we all went up there, and a lot of us had the privilege of getting to race at Saramana Speedway. A lot of famous people ended up being part of that, but we won't go into that. My brother and I decided that we'd drive to Boston because we'd never been up there. And we went to Boston. And on the way back, we come through Worcester, Massachusetts. And I saw this 32 Ford coupe in a junkyard. And I went in and bought it for $50. We went back the next day. I put a motor in it, put the radiator on it, put wooden floorboards in it, cranked it up, and drove it home. The emblem that we have is the little tramp with a cigar in his mouth and the squash hat. Was a little rubber toy that I had hanging on my mirror in my 39 Ford coupe. I got the name Digger because I started working for the funeral home, mainly because I liked the emblems. And of course, the only training we had was we went and took first aid classes and things of that nature, and then the doctors helped us. I think I was 17 years old when I delivered my first child, and Dr. Kaplan told me if I was going to be in that business, I need to learn. So he took me into the operating room in the hospital, and I got to watch him deliver a baby, and he taught me what to do and how to do. And in my lifetime, I've delivered eight children. When Herb Panchey quit being chief of police, he opened or started a trucking company, and he had the contract to build the roads in South Venice. And I and a bunch of my other buddies that were in the Vagabonds, we drove dump trucks, and we hauled dirt off of River Road, down Center Road, and built the roads in South Venice. Back then we thought, who in the world ever buy lots and live here? We had no idea or ever dreamed that Venice would grow like it's grown.